This episode of the Closeout Bodyboarding podcast is proudly presented to you by limited edition fins. Shane, I've always wanted to know, what's the big difference between the original limited edition fins and the new Psylocke fins?
Benny, the Psylocke fins are bigger and wider than the original LE foot pockets. So basically when you try them on, they'll actually be a size up. Psylocke's fit really well in half sizes to the original fins. So I used to not be able to fit into the larges in the original LE fins, but I fit perfectly into the Psylocke large. So I just recommend everyone, if you weren't comfortable in the original LEs, go in and try on a new Psylocke's.
Awesome. Thanks, Shane. Back to you in the studio. Welcome back to the Closeout Bodyboarding podcast as we continue our journey into the deepest crevices of all things bodyboarding. I'm Benny Oborn, the one and only host tonight, and I'm in a beautiful part just south of Sydney, very close to an infamous wave in Cronulla, specifically to get the inside scoop from those in the know on the 2025 Shark Island Challenge. Last year's event, it was an absolute testament to the overall historical reputation, throwing up some pretty great conditions for something that many people were looking to see for a long time. Benny Sawyer, local madman, emerged victorious, claiming braggy rights, moving in to another shot. However, I have the incredible privilege of speaking to two remarkable humans who make up part of the brains trust responsible for the Shark Island Challenge, Lukey O'Connor and Mark Sadler. Lads, what an absolute honour it is to sit in your garage with the fresh aromas of seafood in the background.
Mate, well, thanks for coming up, Benny. I cannot thank you enough. I was stoked to have you here and stoked to have you in my garage, even though it does smell like a fishbowl, brother. I'm sorry.
Not too bad in here. It's not too bad in here.
Yeah, I mean, Mrs. blew it with the flathead, but that's for another day.
We can blame it on the fertiliser. Yeah, cheers, Benny. I'm frothing on the invite, mate. Definitely keen to uncover a few things, and let's get the ball rolling.
Mate, first and foremost, fellas, how's the start to 2025 been? I mean, you're both busy. You both run your own businesses. Lukey, you're a sexy pool man. Mark, you run your own landscaping business. Must have been a pretty good start to the year.
Yeah, I mean, it's always been hard to juggle, but at the same time, it's always something. Mark, Sam Van, the third committee member who can't be here tonight, unfortunately. He's actually running little side story. He's running his own music festival down at Gerringong this weekend.
No way.
Yeah, so he's got his fingers in a lot of pies. Wow. Shout out to Sammy Van. But yeah, usually the start of the year, Benny, in our eyes is the hardest because you've been smashed with work, you're looking to have a quick break, and then you've got to kind of charge up the batteries again, stoke up the fire and get back into it. And I think we probably took a couple more weeks this year to get back going just because we had so much going on. But with the inclusion of Bolter recently, we've got NMD coming on board. You know, Sads has struck up so many good deals with so many good companies that I really feel like we've got a bit of pep in our step, and I think we're going onwards and upwards to the 28th of April, first day of the waiting period.
Well, before we get stuck into that, let's just talk about, again, you boys a little bit more. Have you had some time to get waves yourselves? Like, how's the summer been? It's not prime time for waves.
Mate, ask this bloke about the waves he had recently.
Oh, here we go.
Put on an absolute spectacle.
Clinic.
At, a bit of an epic wave, a novelty because it doesn't break that often here in the Shire, but a little wave out at Kurnell, that Alfred cyclone swell, and Mark was just spinning, parking himself in the cone, full conspiracy kind of style, and then just big rolls out, loving life. So
nice.
You've been getting some waves.
Yeah, there's been fun little things, but nothing like the Queensland boys have been getting. But it's just good to get in the water whenever you can.
Of course it is.
Especially with how warm it is at the moment. It's unseasonably warm.
And even like the vibe that we have created in the local community. Like, I've got mates haven't bodyboarded in 20 years, and they're going, "Oh, you got a spare board? You got flippers?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do, but I'm like, going to get them back."
Mate, never loan boards to mates. Never.
Oh, my son needs one too. I haven't had that for 20 years. You know what I mean? So you know
It's a good
something
problem to
special is
have.
coming. Yeah, for sure.
Dude, speaking of what Mark's speaking about there, at that exact way we were just speaking about, a local Shire legend, Dougie Shao, the brother to John Shao, who's in the comp this year. Dougie was out Colonel Point a day later. I just said the spot anyway, so whatever. Idiot. I said it. We were just hanging out, and it was only me, him, and another surfer. And to Mark's point, the froth that was emitting out of Dougie in regards to Boogan.
So he'd been off it for a while as well.
Well, he hasn't been fully off it, but because he came up with the ilk of like coming up through the really strong
it was a tough period then.
Yeah, and like the
early 2000s.
and the Emerald comps, they were stacked. You had from A all the way to AAA, like proper competitive beasts that you were looking to, and Sads did so many of those comps too. Like you can just see the competitive fire there, and it really was like a firebrand for getting everyone going during that period. Died off for kind of 10, 15, 20 years. And now, as Sads was saying, that's really been stoked back up. He was frothing, like he was buzzing.
Epic.
I actually did, I was with Doug and John this morning. We've got a little mental health group another day. We did Sandhills this morning with Doug and John. And I do them a little bit, and I thought it was all right. Holy shit. These two were smoking me out. Pitch black in the rain this morning.
Yeah.
Dougie called it. I was like, I should go. I'm sort of the face of Shark on. Yeah, just smoking me in the rain. In the dark.
Pressure.
Yeah, no pressure.
Just the poster boy.
But then also, too, they are athletes, mate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I say. I'm just, this is a side hustle.
Right, so let's just quickly recap on 2024. I know we've had a chat about it already, Lukey, but collectively, you guys put on by far the greatest bodyboarding event worldwide in 2025. There was so much hype leading up to it, so much international interest. Obviously, you had a really good cast of riders come across. There were some that didn't make it for reasons, and that's fine. But, the end result, like, you got pretty pumping waves. Not perfect, but that's the ocean.
The best
like
for the window. So
absolutely.
What do you do?
And you guys put on a great production, and no one stopped talking about it ever since. Like,
thanks, man.
This, like, I'm excited. Like this is it's one of the pinnacle events in the world, and it always has been. It sits up there alongside pipe. It sits up there alongside fronton. Like, they are waves of consequence. Like, you got to swallow your pride and unzip your pants and let your balls hang out, like, to really ride these beasts. Like, you guys pulled off, I think, what you'd almost call the impossible, and back to do it all over again. So, like, I just want to know how you guys felt post-event, because I can imagine leading up to the event, you were stressed to the hills.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you've still got hair, Lukey. But how did you guys, once the dust settled, I mean, you had some other stuff going on, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I to your point, Ben, I think Sam, Mark and myself, we sat down, we had a nice seafood dinner after, seafood lunch actually, into a long lunch. It was our pat on the back for doing the comp. Yeah. And
well deserved.
Yeah, and we were actually really stoked coming together, looking over all the things that we've achieved, what the community's achieved, what bodyboarding's achieved. And we were just super happy that, as you've said, it was the first comeback tour essentially for the Shark Island Challenge. So we thought there were definitely things to improve on. We mentioned about the swell. We obviously, you could talk all day about it. It was obviously too south, but still offered up some great moments.
Yeah, absolutely.
And offered size that allowed a lot of the public interest to really get into it. But I think the best thing was that we just had so many things to improve on, which we're going to implement this year, just to make it more of a seamless and, like, for example, we were straight away talking about the live feed and how we can improve that. We all mucked around about the Louis Remington joke, and me and Whitey on air, we had a great laugh about it. But when you see that on the international stage and you go back over what was a plus and what was a negative, it was funny at the time, we carried on, but Louis Remington Finnegan is like a legitimate bodyboarder who deserves, his name to be spelt correctly and
definitely
read out internationally. So my point being is, like, waffling on, it's like those things were the 1% we really wanted to kind of, tune into and make sure that we achieved them this year, because we definitely were happy with the job we did at last year, but there was a lot of things too that we knew we could improve on.
But also, Luke, in our defence, you weren't meant to be on the live stream till like probably 2 days before. Had a couple of people pull out, unfortunately, and Luke ended up being on the live stream. So I was sort of running around doing like a headless chook. Sam was out in the water. Luke was on a live stream for 8 hours.
Chaos.
So his plan was
He couldn't do any project management because he was in a live feed.
There was none. So I was like, I don't know anything about production. So like I'm upstairs with the judges down at the tent, down on the water's edge. Like, yeah, I think just because everyone sort of got caught out of place, things like that sort of slipped through rather than being able to stand back, be a project manager and oversee it all.
Yeah.
Just remember, boys, this is bodyboarding.
Yeah, for sure. It is, It's little rusty old Hyundai Getzers and tin cans of tuna.
That's right.
Driving down the highway.
Yeah, it should be expected. Till you see that person on the day.
Yeah. And it is because you guys put everything into it. It is so hard to sit back and look at the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Like you said, unfortunately, there's keyboard warriors, guys that are going to give you shit for anything. Fuck those guys. That means nothing. You've just got to take that moment to take a deep breath, sit back and go, okay, in retrospect, pretty good.
For sure.
There was not a single thing throughout that entire event that you can be harshly critical of.
Yeah.
If anything, it's fine tuning.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
it. It's fine tuning.
It is. You're right. It is those 1%ers. It's just the ones that you want to really get we are probably focusing on the negative like humans are instead of the positives, but it's like more public toilets, more letter drops for the event. So
But I don't think you guys could have foreseen how fucking chaotic that was going to be.
True.
Yeah. A sunny Sunday afternoon, like even when we're speaking to council like blowing up at us that it was so massive. They go, oh, you said there will be up to 500 people and there was 4,000.
It's almost like Cronulla Riots 2.0.
Yeah. But I was like,
without the wife beaters.
Well, look, it could have ran at 7 a.m. on Monday morning in the rain. In the rain onshore the next day that everyone said was going to be so great and it was shit house.
Yeah.
But it could have ran then and there would have been 200 people there on a Monday morning, 7 a.m. in the rain.
But that's not what you want.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
So it worked out very well.
Yeah.
And the promise we had to the sponsors, knowing that we had put ourselves out there going, we want to bring this event back. We want to make sure that the heritage and the culture is, enshrined into our history once again, which it already is, but you know what I mean? Like really bolster back up and getting on everyone's tongues. Like there was just moments there where I just thought to myself, be present and enjoy this moment and take it in for what it is, because it's kind of surreal once you're in it and you are, once you're involved in that event, going down in a historic day in bodyboarding. It's like what we just saw at Pipeline recently. Yep. People are going to throw shade on those event organisers for a number of things. Not that I think there's anything wrong with the comp. I loved it, but I'm just saying you could pick apart things and whatever. But really, they created an historic comp that brought the froth back to Boogan. Everyone's talking about it. And you're getting people coming out of the woodworks. Like even, Ayaka, the female champion. When was the last time you saw her compete?
Yeah, it's
I know she's had a kid, but there's probably 2 or 3 years there where she's been off the scene. And then that was the draw card. That was the carrot getting back. The same as the Shark Island. It's like...
She's living on the North Shore now, I think.
Yeah, she's either in... She was in Maui.
Or Maui, right.
Maui a bit, but she might be on the North Shore now. I think you're right, yeah. But yeah, she put on a stellar performance.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, let's just get down to the brass tacks. We're back in 2025. You've tinkered with a few of the format kind of concepts. You've got a trials event incorporated. You've got some amazing support in terms of sponsors and investors this year. Love for you guys to give us a bit of a rundown on that as we clink those beautiful Bolter XPAs. Cheers.
The best thing was, I reckon, the first sponsor, of course, we're going to say is Toby at Bodyboard King. I think the night at the Prezzo, he's like, I'm in again next year. Well, we haven't even discussed anything. He goes, no, I'm in.
This is what I love about Toby. Fuck that up.
Remington.
See,
it happens, doesn't it?
I have a very, very similar relationship with Tobes. Every project I've worked on with Tobes has been the exact same thing. He just loves it. Yeah.
Yeah, the way we would before we do things, we ask Toby a question. You know, what do you think about this? He's like, sweet, keen, thumbs up. I'll call him. Do you want to elaborate? Nah, fuck, sweet, mate. It's all good. I trust you guys.
It's almost like we've got his trust at the moment, and at the moment, hopefully forever. But it's like, and he's like, you know what I mean? Going, okay, these guys pulled a rabbit out of the hat the first year. Let's give him the keys to the castle and let's see what they can do, kind of thing. And he's happy to sit back and be the financial support, which, you know, he's got that many, you know, fingers in so many pies anyway. He doesn't need another thing to take on. But yeah, just with Toby, it's unbridled support. Like, he just is happy to do whatever.
Yeah, and I think having that, so that was, we ran the comp on the 16th of June. So on the 16th of June, you already knew that you had the head sponsor for the next year.
That's unheard of.
Like, that's pretty...
In bodyboarding, that's unheard of.
We're pretty, like, that's a big load off. That's really nice.
So I guess there's got to be a huge shout out to Toby, because really we know his store as probably the greatest retail store online at the moment. Like, when you think about it, like, he offers everything. He's so quick to
next day. Yeah,
that's what I mean. Like, and so I think it's
But he's expanding as well. I mean, he's a distributor for hub boards. He's doing great things.
He is, man.
He's got a couple,
And even like his Airbnb down at Cola. He's also got a couple of properties and whatever.
Look at him go.
I know. The only reason I know that too is because I snuck a sneaky session with him down at Borley one time 3 years ago now, and he was staying at his holiday house. And I was like, you're doing pretty well, son.
How many kids has Tobes got now?
Is it 2 or 3? Two.
I know his boys, Eastern girl. I'm sorry, I don't know, but they're good. The boy plays rugby. They're nice kids. They'll actually help him run the shop at the comp.
How good's that?
When Toby's out in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really good. Just, good vibe, good family, like, nice.
So Tobes is in. You've also got NMD. Yep. Bolter have come on as the beverage sponsor.
Yep.
What else?
What happened with NMD Winnie called you, hey? Tell us about that, mate.
Yeah. So pretty much this is another feather in our cap. I'm just so honoured to even have Benny P and Mez come down to the actual comp last year.
Yeah.
And I think they had turned up at the comp site expecting a couple of tents, a couple of 100 people, you know, like most bodyboarding comps, as we were discussing before. Even when you look back on the 2016 challenge, you obviously had the waves and you had people there watching it, but it was still on a weekday and it was still not drawing the same sort of crowd. So I think that's when Benny and Mez came down and saw the hype, saw what, you know, it was kind of generating for the community. They pretty much flagged it as the next investment opportunity, and the rest is history. Been talking to Winnie ever since, and then we had a really good meeting with BP, Mez and Winnie the other day. And they're also the same ilk as Toby, just easygoing, happy to support the sport. They, you know, supported Front On for a number of years, and obviously things had gone slightly awry there just because of various political and financial reasons.
Yep.
And they've been like amazing ever since.
Nice.
Yeah, we were chasing a beverage company for a while. Like, Luke and Sam did this 28-page pitch deck. Sam does all the creative graphic designs
only 28
and everything.
pages.
Yeah, that was
right.
Because in the whole, we ran 5 events with the Urban Surf, the Bowls Day, the post-party, the pre-party. Wave pool, like, ran 5 events. So we had to, like, jam it all in. Obviously, you got to sell yourself as well. So,
but that's also a lot of data. You've got to put the data. That's what big corporate brands want to see.
Yeah, huge. So, so Sam got all the mad graphics. Luke did all the wordsmithing.
Couple of pie graphs.
Yeah. Coloured.
A few percentages might have got pushed a little bit, but, you know, what do you do?
Buffer.
4,000, 7,000, whatever. But, so we had a couple of connections through our local MP, Simon Kennedy. He was connecting us up with line distribution down in Melbourne.
Yep.
And we had another connection at CUB. And I think we're looking at Coopers. We'll just sort of playing around, not really playing around because they hold they're bigger than us.
Yep.
But a lot of back and forth for a lot of time. And then we ended up getting it in with Bolter, which was really, really nice.
I think it's the best result.
And they they've been an absolute breeze.
Yeah.
We sent them contract, which is very appealing to them. Appealing to everyone.
Professional.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
And we said, can you please send back your terms and conditions? This is a draft. This can be totally changed, revised, whatever you want. And they go, nah, sweet, bang, done. And then we had beers down Ridges the other week, and the bloke dropped 8 cases down, there's only 15 of us there. So
when we
it
were
was good, Arvo.
when we're talking with the other alcohol companies, they really wanted us to be able to sell on site, have a pop-up bar, and the legal
And that
hoops-
cost money.
Oh, bro, when we went through, we actually spoke to a local licensing fella, a friend of a contractor who does pools, Clint actually, legend of Pinnacle Pools. They put us on to Steve, and Steve just said, mate, you got to think about security. You got to think about, your applications to the council. You've got to think about getting the coppers involved. You got to think about cordon off this area. And we were like, well, for the investment we're going to get off an alcohol company and how much they're going to make back on the sales of their beer at the event, with us getting a slight portion of that, it's not going to. It's not financially viable for us to do this. You know what I mean?
Especially a 7-metre cliff face with only half of it handrails.
Yeah.
Like, think about what could happen.
Oh man.
Yeah, the risk analysis is out of control.
Who's that fall on? Like, that's fuck that.
Yeah. Even the council had qualms last year, which we put measures in place this year with more bins, and we're going to have a lot more staff and security. But the complaints when people were cracking a beer up on the hill during the final, we had no
control over
that. But yet we as event organisers need to try and put mitigation in place.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Of course.
And then when it comes to pop-up bar, it's like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Red flag.
Yeah, we're not the WSL.
Yeah.
Not even close. Not even close.
Yeah. We don't want to be either, to be perfectly honest.
No, we're happy with what we got. Very happy.
Well, that's it. Stick to what you know, right?
Got to keep it core. It almost feels like the WSL has gone way too corporate and they've lost the essence of what surf culture is.
Do you know one thing I'm really shocked at with the WSL? And I don't want to segue on that too much. But, they ran at Kelly's wave pool for, I think, 5 years.
Yeah.
And the general feedback from, I think, 70% of the competitive pool, I think 25% refused to comment. 75% said it was fun the first year. It sucked after.
Yeah.
So they drop it. And then they just implement the same thing in fucking the UAE.
And how much money are they getting from the UAE?
I get it. It's a business, right?
Of course.
Yeah. I do see the dangled cherry.
Yeah,
from our point of view.
I definitely get that
if they want to have a comp, we'll probably go there.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like listening to your people, listening to
for sure.
your supporters.
They're bigger than that.
Well, that's it. I mean, if you don't have the riders, you don't have a sport.
Yeah. Or the public.
Yeah, that's it.
The other sponsor we should mention is, we were talking about him before, Dino at Secret Samacha.
Yep, Ferg.
Yeah, he throwing another 10-day trip on for the best barrel. And literally, I think I texted him.
Did you guys see that barrel he got like a couple of months back?
Oh my!
Well, first of all, you could barely see him. He was so far below sea level.
Whoa.
This thing's 10 foot, some right-hander.
Yeah.
Sumatra?
Yeah.
Fast too.
Yeah, it looked terrifying.
I was talking about, when we were at Colonel Point, that place we were talking about it. I was talking about Secret Samacha. I was like, fuck.
Luke Mason and Damien Miller?
Yeah.
They went over for their 40th recently. Unfortunately, couldn't go, but they were just saying, mate, like it is paradise because it's got so many different waves.
Yeah.
They're smack bang in front
of the pool, the drinking, just everything about it, like
and
the vibe.
The effort that Dean's gone in to make it so much more, westernised with all the
user-friendly.
Resources instead of just being some
your family. Yeah.
Exactly. With a mosquito net and a fucking, candle or something, like you're actually living the dream.
Yeah. So they jumped on straight away. He's like, yep, sweet, keen, same again. Okay.
Epic. All right, so let's talk about some of the changes you've made to the format, I guess the seeding process. One of the biggest changes is that there's now a trial event, which is huge.
Yeah.
I think that's generated a shit ton of interest and making it seem like a far more kind of achievable option for so many more people.
That was the feedback from last year. Like a lot of people came to us and said, we don't have time to go around Australia or the world and collect these clips that are going to get us into the challenge. We've kind of got to have a certain way. I had comments from a lot of the Port boys, a lot of the Goldie boys. And, I guess when we were looking at it at the start of last event, we knew that we didn't have the resources or the time to really put into something physical. Mind you, looking back on it now, it's probably a way larger hill to climb doing it online with a lot of programming software and getting websites up to date to make sure there was a lot of administration work behind the scenes that we probably didn't realise was going to be there. But this year with Surfing New South Wales on board and just how they're going to be pretty much contract what's
what's their role in the event? Are they providing, I guess, some event services? Are they going to be doing some of the administrative and
they're
heavy
pretty
lifting?
much running both the events. So the
Nice.
the 27th and the 28th. The 27th is Saturday. The reason we chose of April, of course. Thank you, sir. We chose this weekend was because it's a long weekend. It's kicking off the waiting period, and we wanted to tie in the New South Wales State bodyboarding titles with the Shark Island Challenge trials, because if you're going to travel to somewhere from around the state, you may as well try and get into a national/international comp in the process the next day if you're in town. Yep. And we just thought it was a great way to promote the sport. It also, in our opinion, provides a pathway, a stepping stone, so to speak, of going from, your local club comp up to your regionals, up to your states, national.
Yeah,
and
which is essentially what bodyboarding is lacking.
100%.
Yeah, it's not just here, it's worldwide.
And honestly, that actually, it's funny you say that, Benny, was one of the first kind of mantras that we put in place when we first started doing this, Mark, Sam and myself, was all we want to do is just get bodyboarding back to those days when we were growing up out the island and you saw the guys on good money, paying for houses, going around the world, enjoying their life, doing
those
a sport.
Billabong boys, Jesus.
Exactly.
They did well.
You know what I mean? And so when you see that, you think to yourself, well, why can't it be? I know today's world is very different, but why can't it be similar? And without those pathways, people aren't going to realise that goal. So that was one of our big aims.
How's the trials working? What's the...
So pretty much we're going to have a men's and a females division. We're going to have 2 entrants going from the men's division and 2 from the females. Are we going to do 1?
One female, still to be confirmed.
Yeah, still to be confirmed. We're still deciding that at the moment. But we're just looking at numbers there too. But definitely 2 from the men, 1 to 2 from the females, depending on interest.
Yep.
And then it'll be pretty much just straight away then you'll be immersed within the competitive field. The waiting period starts the next day. The launch party is on the 28th of April that night. So 27th of April, Saturday, this New South Wales State bodyboarding titles run. The 28th, in the day, the Shark Island Challenge trials run within the Cronulla region at a location decided.
Based on the conditions.
Yeah, and on the conditions. And then on the 28th night, the Sunday evening, into the public holiday Monday, we have the launch party and we start the waiting period. So, we don't want to, throw around the stereotypical word of festival, but it is kind of, trying to bring everyone together for a couple of days and just go booging.
Like the big day out of bodyboarding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us a bit more about the launch party. What's going down?
Yeah, so the launch party will start at 3 p.m. at Ridges at Cronulla, which is like stone's throw at the back of North Cronulla, which is there's a little rip bowl out the front of North Cronulla where we all grew up surfing. So that's probably the pinnacle point of the mobile event. Like, unless it's 6 foot offshore, then we can look at the other reefs because obviously we have tides pending.
Of course.
But yeah, so Ridges is like a balcony just 100 metres in behind that, and there. Come on board with the launch party. So we're going to host the launch party there. I think we're going to have DJ there. Going to have all the old, same as last year. Going to have all the old big wigs on stage. Heat draw out of a hat. We're trying to get a comedian, DJ, looking at maybe a band. It's just going to be huge. So it starts at 3 p.m. There's no finish time. So
and that is classic party sads in his mode right there.
Yeah.
You could hear that there's no finish time, all right?
I'll be...
It ends when I say it ends.
I'll be pretty busy, I think.
Oh, we all will. But I'm saying you got to also enjoy yourself too. So
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, when there will be a finish time and then I'll have a few drinks. But yeah, so that's at Ridges at Cronulla, which is really good. They've come on board as a great partner.
And they're a great central hub too, because we've only discussed if we have inclement weather on the day, that is a great place.
How's that what they're doing? Yeah, so during the live stream of the event, they're going to have the live stream on projectors at their bar.
Nice.
And it's walking distance from the island. So literally, you can go heat 1 and watch Andrew Lester heat 1. Be like, I'm going to brush the next heat or 2. Go back to Ridges, have a few drinks, have lunch, and you're still watching it on the live stream.
Have a couple of bolters.
Yeah, and then you're like, it's still in the live stream. Sweet, that semi-finals come up. Let's walk back down to the comp. So it's good for someone to go and have a drink.
Controlling engagement.
Yeah.
And centralising it too.
Nice.
And accommodation. They got accommodation upstairs. They got like 110 rooms on top of it. So you can literally stay at the party event for the whole weekend.
And all those party boys and girls out there. Giddy up.
Hopefully the swell comes on the 29th of April.
Yeah.
That'd be the dream, wouldn't it?
Oh, wouldn't it?
Well, would it? Might hinder performances.
Yeah,
the
true.
following
Yeah,
day.
yeah. Maybe a couple of days later. But that first week, we've chosen that because the tides look epic.
Right.
Yeah, I think there's like 10 days in
10
a row
days.
of like...
Let's talk more about that tides, because I don't think the entire bodyboarding community really understand the concept of how much the tides affect the island. Tides affect every beach, but the island is very, very unique.
It's super unique.
Yep.
And you'd have to say, Saz is just checking the tides right now, but you'd have to say that like the island without a metre of water on it, it becomes quite sketchy. Sketchy already with a metre of water on it, but once you start getting below that metre mark, depending on the swell direction, if it's more east, need way more tide. If it's more kind of southeast, southerly, you can have less tide and still get away with it. But ultimately, we only have 6 or 7 hours to run, really. And unfortunately, and I've been in this position, I know Sads has too, as a competitor in the challenge, if you get heat 1 on the lower to mid tide, you got to just put a strategy in place to get through that heat.
Yeah, right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
And so that's what we're kind of dealing with on a regular basis.
We call this the Matrix.
Oh, 100%. And you're just trying to calculate numbers. You're trying to fend off Mr. Anderson.
You're doing Pythagoras.
Yeah. Whilst doing judo with Morpheus and just somehow getting through the match.
Taking the blue pill.
I've got the tides up now because we do have a screenshot and circled. So from the 28th, there's 8 days of 1.72 high tides during the day. So it's 8 days. And May has historically been the best month by far
For sure.
for autumn east-south-east swells. And then there's a week off, and then we're back on for 11 days.
You are fucking dialed in on this, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, we have to be. Yeah,
It's
trust
crazy.
me.
So 21 out of 31 days of May are available for tides.
Nice.
So,
There's just several other factors we've got to get in check.
Yeah, 100%.
yeah. Well, and then obviously we've got June. We can extend to July if needed.
But look, we're really banking on the shitty summer the East Coast has had. And, generally the last 3-4 years, depending on where you live on the East Coast, it's actually been pretty fun in summer, surprisingly. And it's had consistent waves that, 3 to 4 foot, but you could grovel in them.
Yep.
Then you'd come to winter and autumn, and it just seems like you'd already spent some of your energy, in summer, or Mother Nature, Huey, whatever, and wouldn't dish out those, 5 or 6 ridiculous swells of the autumn and winter that we're so used to.
The pulses.
Yeah, exactly. And so hopefully we've just been starved. We're on our 30-day water fast, and
Right.
we're just going to come straight out.
Well, I think the Goldie have completely out of their control. They've cashed in all their credits the last few weeks.
Mate, haven't they?
Now there's just I think there's so much sand gone that they're down to coal seam.
Yeah.
It's
Really?
It looks. I saw some photos today from Main Beach and Surfers Paradise.
Yeah.
and they're talking 3 to 4 meter drop away of sand.
Wow.
Yeah,
Where does it go?
somewhere.
Yeah, I know. I'm just thinking.
Look, it comes back.
It does,
That's the
I
thing.
know,
It just.
yeah.
I think it just swirl. Again, because there's so much energy in the water, it's just swirling around.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's just got to settle again.
It's actually funny, our beaches here in Cronulla, every 10 years or 8 or 10 years, we get the river dredged out.
Yep.
We get sand literally moved from the bar and placed into our beaches. Every time that happens, we have good beach breaks for Cronulla standards for the next 2 or 3 years after that. And then after that, it becomes a big hole again, builds up in the river, and then, boom. So you're right. The sand just does move around. Naturally, not so much here in Cronulla in the river, but when it does, so many little different options and banks can open up.
Yeah. I mean, I'm stoked the Goldie guys got some waves of late, but yeah, I do send my condolences because I feel like the next few months there's going to be a lot of deep holes and
Yeah.
not going to be great
Yeah.
banks anywhere.
No way, it can't be. They had probably one of the better runs of surfing I can remember in Australia for probably 3 or 4 days there.
Yeah, there was some good shit.
Yeah, if you cashed in for 9 or 10 hours,
Mate, you got to be fit.
oh man, you've got to be
and
fit.
that's the water's moving so fast there. You got to be fit.
exactly, yeah. I can see why so many skis were out in the lineup. I know there's a lot of conjecture around it, but it's man, if you've got that much sweep, and even from a safety aspect, you kind of want people there to just be picking up. crewed
stragglers.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
All right. So, in terms of the competitive field, what's it capped at? Are we numbers wise? What's the complete field? Is it 32?
No, we're looking at 24 is what we've originally agreed on.
Including 2 trialists.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, so 24, which will be 6 4-man heats, 2 go through, making it 12 into 3 4-man semis. And then depending on the tides, we'll probably go from there. So that'll break down to 6 people. And then depends on the tides and the day, whether we want to do 2 3-man semis, run that into a 4-man final. Or there's also the possibility to do a 6-man final over an extended period of time. Or, yeah, there's a few options. It's sort of...
You've got a really big whiteboard at home, haven't you, Saz?
Yeah.
You just got...
I think the boys say to me, hey, mate, it's Sunday night. Can you, let this go? I can't sleep.
Monday morning,
I love it.
4 a.m. He's about to go to the sauna and the ice bath, and he's just like, "Oi, we need to get on this today. This is da-da-da-da-da." And I'm like, I'm not even going to wake up for 2 hours yet, and we're already going. You know, we're going. It's that, but that honestly, like taking the mickey
without Sads.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I totally
definitely
agree.
push them. Well, they don't need pushing. They're not. They're really good.
Yeah, but you're the go guy. You're the get up and go. You're almost like the Wolf of Wall Street kind of dude that you're just doing the beating on the chest.
Those are rookie numbers.
Exactly. But he's thinking his head every fucking day.
Are we going out to lunch? Are we going to lunch?
So 24, 2 trialists, really good rundown. Let's talk the field. Who's locked in? Who's still TBC? I guess who's in, who's out?
Well, I mean,
With the 10 semi-finalists?
Thomas.
What a fucking story, huh?
Yeah, I know.
And then he, goes on to be the highest ranked Aussie in pipe recently.
Yeah, quarters. Yeah,
And did
real
well.
Yeah.
Did well, man.
Yeah.
He,
I had an inkling. I trained a bit with him before he went over, and I was like, he's
pretty fit.
He's pretty switched on here.
Yeah.
Like, if he sets his mind to something,
Yeah.
I haven't seen that because I didn't know Benny that well until the last couple of years. And I've seen a side where I'm like, fuck, this guy's...
He's a silent killer.
He's quite
He's a
impressive.
silent killer.
Obviously, he's quite impressive.
Yeah.
He's a very, very great body, but he was massive there from the age of 15 to 22, 23.
Yeah, when he was young, yeah.
Young, he was with Desi, everything was going ham, and he was kind of the next guy coming up at the island. But fortunately, everyone has their own paths. He went on a different path for a little bit. Got married, had kids, sorted some other stuff out, and he's kind of come back full circle.
But that was also during a time where the industry went.
100%. Yeah.
So it's his fault.
Yeah.
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 Oh, you're out. Benny, you're out.
Safety yellow? What the fuck, mate? But yeah, and now he's come back with a vengeance, and he's the fittest he's ever been. He's going to a local surfers gym.
He's still in Hawaii.
Yeah, he's still over there in Hawaii, living the. I don't know how he's got that much time off work this year.
Do you know he's going to Sumatra?
Yeah, fuck off.
He's going to Sumatra in the beginning of April.
He's had 2 weeks in Japan. He's having 3
Baller.
weeks in Hawaii, and then he's going to Sega Sumatra. Yeah, IT pays.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a huge story. But then if you look at the other contestants, Marley Dunn for his first time surfing the island.
Yeah.
Come on.
Saw a good clip of him yesterday. See that one he got under? At one of his Doris waves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hectic. Yeah. So again, incredible talent. Happy to have him back. And then it was just the top 10. So we had Steph Brook-Alston there. He unfortunately probably won't be able to make it this year. He's just outside of the country and will be coming back in the later half of the waiting period, probably the last 3 weeks. So obviously if we run with, inside or outside of those times, he's obviously got a chance of being in it. But, you even look at the likes of I
Louis in there. Louis, J-Rom.
Yeah. Osler,
Pino, Jack Baker.
Yeah.
They're all
CJ's a new in this year, right?
Yeah.
Grizz.
Yeah. Big
Yeah,
one.
Luke had a good push on that. It was good.
Yeah. I was keen for Grizz.
I get it. Oh, man. Everyone gets it.
Yeah. He's such a good boog, and he's just one of those guys that you wouldn't put him in any comp, but if it's an invitational big wave comp, he's got to go in. You know what I mean?
Actually, whenever we put up photos of a slab, he writes he DMs something, hey. He's like, yeah, I want that.
Yeah, he's into it, I know. And Grizz is a guy that, in my experience with him, and people could see this, rightly or wrongly, everyone's got their own opinion, but he comes across as someone who doesn't care that much.
Yeah.
But I can tell deep down inside, in my opinion, he might disagree with this, that he's super hungry to continually...
I think he just wants to push himself.
For sure, and not to compete at the high level, but just to be at a high level of whatever he does. You know what I mean?
He's never been a rashy guy.
No way. But then you look what he's done, in all his in Rome, in Dennis, in all the free surfing.
Look at all the desert stuff he
Yeah,
does.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. the stuff he's done at Coney's, the stuff he's done at Luna's, the stuff he's done at, even Chopes.
Pioneer.
Even Nuggin.
Absolute pioneer.
Those air forwards and inverts at Nuggin.
Well, unbelievable.
Him
I
and
still
Glenn
love him.
Thurston those days.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, it's really good to have them in. Jacob Mera's coming back. Jeffrey Hubbard.
That'd be good. Yeah, Jeff fully committed, hey.
Yeah.
We're sort of like Jeff, because last year just could have worked out, couldn't work out, and then we were like, Jeff, if you're coming, if you accept this invite, you're coming.
Okay.
He's like, boys, I'm coming. I'm in.
What about Tanner? Is Tanner in?
Fortunately not, no. We'd love to have him back, but I think Tanner at the moment, haven't spoken since the Shark Line last year, but he seems to be kind of off doing his own thing, free surfing. I know he did compete in the pipe comp. Also, too, he does live over that way or can fly quite easily back from California, so a bit easier. I think it's a big commitment for a lot of professional riders to come down here in Australia.
Not cheap to get
It's
Oz.
not, man. And we've talked to, Tristan, Pierre, Amore. It's an incredible opportunity for them, and they're hungry to win the Shark Island Challenge, but they've also got a world tour to worry about.
Yeah.
And in May, they have a huge South American leg that really they can't give up because there's too many points. So you may as well not do the fucking tour and then just come to the Island Challenge or blah, blah, blah. Back it that you need to win it and then forget about a world title. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we can see it both ways.
Which is, that's a part of that world tour not really being a world tour. That's a whole nother
It's hard,
party.
especially when they have events TBC'd.
Yeah.
So therefore, like you were speaking to PLC the other day, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm keen TBC," and we're like, "Yeah, we can't beat TBC. It's got to like."
I'm yet to reach out to PLC, but I mean, he was obviously the bridesmaid on the IBC last year.
Yeah.
But in saying that, he didn't commit to the whole tour. Like he missed a lot of events, but came so close.
And he only came into frame in the last comp. Do you remember?
Yeah. So I'm really interested to know, like, did that hurt him? Emotionally, did that hurt him and go, fuck, I need to put more into this?
Yeah, true.
Because historically, he's been someone that has been so committed, like, on the world tour.
Yeah.
Obviously, the dynamics changed at that level now. But I wonder if that, because he didn't miss out by much.
Oh,
yeah, new sponsors on board too.
Yeah, I wonder if, I'm not going to call him a dark horse because he's not a dark horse, but I kind of almost think it's a sure money bet for him this year.
Oh no, Tristan's pretty impressive.
Oh mate, well bring it on.
Yeah.
If we've got those guys,
that's what I want on those two, just going at it, and everyone's like, because they're the best. They're the best.
100%.
Have them going at it, and you're literally 0.5 edge your seat, like in every comp. That would be mad.
As Mark said, I think he's updated his gear. It's a fresh start. He's, as you said before, Benny, maybe a little bit driven from losing out on that world title last year. Even in a couple of our comp wrap-ups on the potty, I was like, I wanted him to win so fucking bad because I love him as a bodyboarder. I think he's one of the greatest bodyboarders to ever do it. And I think that was his one to win at that late charge. Amides, of course, deserved it. He was a consistent performer.
Exactly, and we should not take any credit away from him at all.
No way.
Yeah, no.
He surfed unbelievably. And the way he could manufacture a score with the judges has to be praised because he played a smart tour that year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
But yeah, the whole world tour thing and the specialty event thing is a real hard one that Sam, Mark and myself discuss all the time because there's so many names that you could get on there, but to get them to commit and to come out to Australia in cost of living crisis, it's not. Yeah,
It's impossible.
It's impossible.
It's impossible. Yeah. I mean, I guess one little segue with the world tour when they did their season announcement, I was really rapt that they kind of said that they'd listened to the feedback they'd received over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And they wanted to build. So I got really excited about that. So I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm going to reach out to him again. We can have another conversation. Nothing back.
Nothing?
Nothing.
No, we had a chat to him.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, with was it Danny? Yeah. No, not Danny Hernandez. Who was the CEO? Danny's
I have
front
no
time.
idea
The
where it is,
CEO was.
Okay.
Yeah, Danny. I had a Zoom with him. There was a couple of them.
Was it a proactive chat though?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Great.
no, I was
good.
yeah, we definitely no, they were very good. They because I think Mark Rousseau got us involved with got us a chat with the IBC guys, and they said, hey, do you want to run as a specialty event? Then we had a chat with them and said if it was an IBC event or a specialty event, the difference, blah, blah. And then I know we obviously consider our options. Then we spoke to Surfing Australia and Surfing New South Wales, and it just seemed, because we thought the event would be a bit smaller, it was a bit safer. Like, having someone, they're from Narrabeen, they're from an hour and a half up the road.
Of course.
Rather than someone across the world.
And also, too, like, the budget, man.
Yeah.
Changes significantly.
The budget is ridiculous. Like, I get that they're running a show to cover resources, cover logistics, and pay everyone wages. I get it. But, like, 125?
120 US.
US.
Is what they asked me.
So we
And then I think they take the comp off you. So if this is what I gathered, if we raise 120,000 US, so we go to Bodyboard King, Bolter, NMD, everyone get 120 grand US, they will come and run the comp for us.
it's a sanction fee.
Yeah. But although they did have the specialty event was separate.
Right.
So if we ran as a specialty event, but I don't know how, it was just sort of running through their channels and their label coming on our competition. But then we couldn't use any of the riders because it coincided with the same as South America. So we didn't really see a point. Although it's not to say it couldn't happen.
I think the way it's running now, because of the overall state of where that kind of amalgamation is with the sport.
Yeah.
You guys need to just keep running it the way it was.
Yeah. Yeah, we sort of felt like a dodged a bullet there.
Yeah, I think
I'm not saying it's completely off the table for the future.
Yeah.
Because if it needs to grow and it wants to become a reputable brand, that they have to spread.
Yeah.
I think it just needs to condense. Like, I mean, even you saw how they released their tour last year. Yeah. So many fucking events. It was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And then one by one, a whole bunch dropped off. Like, it's like the worst business principle ever. Like, they're over promising, under delivering. They got to flip that scale.
Yeah.
And again, start small and control what you can control and go from there.
The exact analogy is going into, say, a burger store and they got 20 burgers, but you should only be focusing on 5 or 6 or whatever it is because you do them well. Like, no shout out to Betty's Burgers, but they do that like that. You go in there, there's 6 burgers you can choose from,
gold.
And they're amazing. Yeah. I'd have each one of them.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to walk into X, Y, and Z and they're going to this bizarre chicken schnitzel, halloumi, whatever, that is, cooked out the back between some dude's chaps, and then it's just like, you know what I mean? Like it's average. So, I think keeping it local, keeping it real, and not being associated with, unfortunately, some of the poor press that they've received and the feedback they probably haven't acknowledged, so to speak. I understand they said they have, but really, when I look at the tour this year, I don't think much feedback's been really considered too much.
Yeah, put into play.
Not really.
We had a lot of guidance through Alex and a lot of the APB crew as well on who to deal with, who not to deal with, what to do.
Which is great.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah, Alex was such a big hit at the start. Like,
He was.
Hours on the phone, emails. He said, CC me and everything. I overlook everything. The way he mentored us of myself, especially at the very start, was really, really nice. And then he just got too busy with all his crane stuff and his family, which is fair. I think
I don't think he's going to be working on a crane for a while on the Goldie.
Unless he's picking the trees up.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, true. That's true.
Shout out to Alex. He was a really, really good help at the start.
Has he moved up to the Goldie?
Yeah. He's on the Goldie. I think his kids are in school up there now too.
With Borger Cranes. I was with Pino the other day. I was talking about it.
Hectic. Nice little sea change.
I saw some pretty mental videos of cranes just because there was a consideration they were going to evacuate surfers in Broadie because of the risk of cranes
falling over.
Yeah, because they're what they're designed to withstand in terms of wind force. Like there was a chance that those winds were going to exceed that, and they're like the moment that they get over that threshold, then it's like dominoes,
like a Godzilla scene.
Yeah,
oh god,
psycho,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Sounds terrible, but I don't know. I was kind of looking forward to some destruction.
Yeah, I know. It's funny when you're on the other end of it, you're kind of looking, going, I wonder what's going to go down here, you know what I mean? Those stories, won't segue any longer, but those stories from the last floods that occurred there with Parko and Fanning going up the river on skis and picking up family members, or families, just out in the sticks.
Well, the Gold Coast Council basically volunteered a whole bunch of their lifeguards, their skis, and the IRBs, company Pro Guarding that do, they'd make the sleds and do all those safety courses. They were a big part of that as well.
Wow. Hectic. Good on them because they need that.
What else do we need to talk about here, boys?
Yeah, so we've got the 24 riders and we've got 24 local sponsors on board as well.
Yeah, the athlete sponsors again.
Yeah, the athlete sponsors,
nice.
which is like a player sponsor for like the NRL type thing. We did it last year, but this year we're obviously pushing them a bit harder on social media and just on the event day. So yeah, it's good to have 24 mostly local companies.
Yeah.
Some are like Louis' company, Bulk Nutrients. They so his protein company is sponsoring him. So sometimes external endorsements are good.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of local builders, local.
Well, it's great brand awareness for them, isn't
Oh,
it?
so good.
Tig has started a new company, P2P, isn't it?
Pay to play.
Pay to play, P2P.
Looks good, hey.
Yeah,
I had a good look at it the other day, a couple of times. Still a bit to understand because I'm not the best. I don't pay the most attention, but it, I think it's the next thing.
So it's pretty much a non-subscription based media outlet website where you pay for the clip to watch it or pay for the article or the piece of art that and you're not on a subscription base. You're not rolling over every month or whatever.
Okay.
And if you really like that article or that clip or that movie or whatever, you can pay for it on the spot, watch it. It's yours as is from there on in, and not yours to use, but you know what I mean, to be able to view it. And Mitch has been nominated as the rider, Mitch Rawlins. So he's thrown Mitch into the ring.
His poster boy for pay to play.
Yeah, which is sick. And Tig's a very particular fella and a very a well-versed bodyboarder. Like he's he likes his angles tight. He likes his tech surfing. He likes his big barrels. He likes great lines, which is, all good bodyboarding, but he's very particular. And so when he chose Mitch Rawlins, it was only fitting that you had pretty much the go.
Well, he pretty much told us Mitch Rawlins. Like,
yeah.
I think, what do you say? You said, who do you, you want to sponsor the comp? What rider do you want? He goes, Mitch.
Straight away.
And we're like, what about so-and-so? So-and-so goes, no, Mitch.
Yeah.
No, just like not negotiable.
And Mitch was in the picture, but not as much.
So he's paying to play.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But hey, you're not going to say no to Mitch Rawlins.
No.
Nah, no way. And especially Tig. Tig's huge in the body.
Oh, yeah, he's a legend.
He's massive.
Is Tig? Can I touch base on, I guess, the production side of it? Like, your web, like, has Tig got any involvement with your production?
Not at the moment, but there's still. So, Sporting News, which is Trent Beattie, they're going to do the production again.
That was the company that we ran through their YouTube last year for the link.
Yeah, so they weren't the live stream company; they were the production company. So it ran through their channel, their YouTube channel. So they're crewing up a team right now with Adrian Emerton.
Yeah.
And Tom Healy and a few of the boys. So they're creating, and Sean Peterson, the drone heli house. They're going to do all the drone work again. So Trent.
Shout out to Peter, getting married this year in Fiji.
Yeah,
good on him. In September.
So Trent's creating the super team. And so I'm sure if, you're not going to say no to Tig if he jumps on the team.
And also, I think Tig's just going to come up and be involved in the event anyway, shape or form. He's one of those guys that's infectious. He's a pleasure to be around, and I think he'll put his creative spin on it anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, even if he stays external, he'll still have his, creative spin, which will, then we get two, you know what I mean? Like that could help.
100%.
Different angle.
Could maybe propose to him that he could do a podcast of the day or a vlog of the day or something.
Yeah. Well, and this is the great thing about events. There's multiple layers to it. You've got, your live stream, but then also you got your highlight reels, which are two completely different dynamics.
Yeah, I don't think people. Yeah, there's so much. Yeah, because we had two teams. We had the highlight team, the Instagram team, which is all in one for Sporting News. Then the live stream, which was from the production company. See, I think they're going to do one bigger team.
Right.
Headed by Surfing Australia. So Chris Smith at Surfing Australia, who did Bells, who's doing the ABB, he did Margaret River. He's the head of production for Channel TV for Surfing Australia.
Right.
So he called us.
So he's got a bit of skin in the game.
Yeah. He sort of knows. He was on the WSL. He was head of production, chief editor for WSL Australia for video production. So he called us. He's like, sweet. So him and Trent, who we were speaking about before from Sporting News, work together.
Yeah, right.
Done heaps of projects together, so they're just making
Look at you guys just networking, huh?
It's actually funny when you open up the Hive how many little You know,
Worker bees there are.
100%.
Yeah.
And so many connecting
And
points.
I know him. Yeah, I worked with him. Like, yeah, it's good to yeah.
So many little honeypots to feast on.
Yeah. And what about, I guess, from the administration point of view? Because I'm sure at some stage, judging and all of that stuff is going to come under scrutiny. That's just what happens in sport.
Yep.
Haddo's
Craig's back on.
Yeah, back in the mix.
Yep, bringing his team in again.
Has he been knighted yet? Like Sir Craig?
mate,
Can't
honestly,
be too far off.
Should we? Like, really? Like,
I don't know if you'd really want to
you
get
could
knighted
almost do
by
it
Prime
after the
Ministers, would you?
smoking ceremony on the challenge of the day.
Yeah.
We could just get the king down there, King Charles. Might come over one of his racehorses. You know what I mean?
So Haddo, basically contest technical director
Yep.
/ head
Yeah,
judge.
he was really, really good last year. He implemented a lot of things that I especially didn't know. Like and yeah, it was good. We all had two ways onto each other, and yeah, it was runs a very smooth ship.
Biggest change with Priority Board, feedback from the riders. Can it be up on shore? It's going to be on our boat in the channel.
Right.
So riders will be able to see priority change instantly, and it's not like they'll be squinting up at the headland to try and see what's going on.
Yeah.
Always a tricky one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll have a PA system out on the boat as well, relaying every score to the rider. There'll be laptops on the boat, everything. Hopefully the boat's not 400 metres away in a 10-foot south swell.
Yeah.
That was mental.
Oh, it was mental,
yeah.
eh?
I was just waiting because I had a two-way to the assistant to the captain on the boat. I was like, let me know if you got to go because this is bad.
Yeah,
He's like, what do you mean, mate? We're fine.
Yeah, we're loving this.
And then they all came out of the presso after and had beers. It was good.
Pirates.
That boat,
Yeah.
probably one of the only boats that could have was kind of...
Yeah, Scari. Yeah, it's a Japanese hand-shaped boat. It's got like a gyro underneath, so it adapts to the waves.
Tries to, balance,
yeah. Yeah, they reckon...
I don't know, Brendo was moving around a bit.
Yeah, I know. So how would it have been if it didn't have that?
Yeah, crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, they reckon one of the other boats wouldn't have made it.
Craig's back on. He's got his trusty judging panel. Yeah, I'm sure Rossi will be there again. I dare say Josh DeBone will be coming down. There's a fair few other heads in there. And so we've got that sorted. Live stream, athletes.
Who's doing your live stream? You got a kind of a panel to rotate so you guys can actually sit back and...
Well, we're going to have a schedule. So
Yeah.
I'll do some heats.
Not that they ever run on.
Yeah, I know. But it'll be me and Brendo kind of like as the main two co-anchors, and then we'll be interchangeable. Like Toby Player will come in. We'll have Benny or Mez or Winnie at some stage.
Yeah, they all want to jump on. Yeah, that'll be good.
there's so many people, even like just athletes around the comp site, even getting Chris White on last year. Like if someone of that ilk's around, you're happy just to get them on there. And
who same deal, you have a feed from the boat?
Yeah, we're looking at... We have to do a trial run. We're looking at running 4 interviews.
Yeah, that kind of post-heat stuff.
Yeah, we just have to run a trial run.
Yep.
it's because the technology is different.
For sure.
Yeah, we're going from...
just because we're changing to wireless.
Yep.
So we're changing to the transmitters on top of the cameras. So we just need to...
Which are line of sight based, I assume. So if you're constantly moving.
Yeah, for sure. And then obviously it goes up to the cloud back to the room at the point. So we need to make sure
What if it's a sunny day and there's no clouds? We're doomed.
We need to make sure that the sound on the interviews isn't out to the
Not
screen.
synced, for sure. Yeah.
Because he said it could be a possible 3-second delay, so we have to run a trial.
You know how like the WSL occasionally have glitches when they've got Strider or Kuiper
So
or something.
who's your strider? You need a strider. You need someone sitting on the shoulder in a PFD, just waiting to get cleaned up by a real East one.
I can really swim.
I think if Brendo and Luke share the stream, we'll get the other one out, hopefully on a ski. I think Adrian Emiden's going to shoot the live stream off a ski instead of the boat.
Yep.
So he's going to pick up riders and live streams picking up riders. It's a bit more personal, POV style.
Yep.
So I think that personal base will be something where definitely Bodyboarding's been missing.
For sure.
Did you guys, speaking of kind of POV, and I'm sure you probably did you reach out to some of those action kind of camera companies to partner with? I mean, it's a flooded market now.
We dealt with GoPro last year, but unfortunately, I don't think...
Yeah, they actually said, I think Sporting News, Trent was hitting them up. And so I know we're not doing surfing or bodyboarding this year. And then they sponsored the pipe surfing comp. It was the full GoPro.
But that's classic.
Yeah.
GoPro stock options have dropped significantly.
Have they?
The last 12 to 18 months, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, DJI's actions are,
Yeah. Are taken over.
Yeah. Big
So
time.
they got the drone market, and so now they got the POV market too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Good for them.
They are the best drones, in my opinion, for sure.
Well, there's not many other competitors.
Yeah, true.
Because they all tried and they failed, right?
Yeah. That's what I mean. They're so hardy.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They like, in corrosive conditions in the ocean. It's amazing how well those things do.
Yeah. Stable.
I remember flying my brother's one into a tree at Point Plummer once from the house. Thought it'd be a smart idea to try and do a sweeping, 180-degree view of the beach, and just went straight
Nailed
into the tree on the headland. The last time I drove my brother's drone.
Yeah. Oh, epic. So overall, what a huge team on the event day. You got 20 plus crew, then some maybe.
Hope that'd be nice.
Well, look, we're hoping for at least 5 or 6 operation staff.
Yep.
And it'll be us 3.
The Gophers.
Yeah, and just people also too. You got to give a huge shout out to Declan and Sean Cooper coming up from
Idris,
Brendo, all those guys, and even coming to the launch parties.
Dane Woods did it as well.
Woodsy,
he helped us out.
They just literally gave us
He
so
came
much
for the
time.
beers, didn't he? Woodsy?
It
That's
came
fine.
to good times, yeah, for sure.
If that's what you want in payment, that's fine. That's all we got.
But I guess, going on from that, it would be getting those 6 event staff to make sure the logistical problem taken care of, kind of just the hands-on shit.
Of course.
And yeah, kind of looking at it, it was more so just making sure that we were providing public toilets.
They want more hazard reduction, so they want more workplace safety. Yeah, just bollards and signage,
of course.
Pretty standard stuff. But we've got a local company, Able Hire, who we hire all our work gear off. So they're coming on board they'll supply all that for free. So that's nice.
We've had to appease a couple of community stakeholders in regards to complaints from last year that we've already nipped in the butt.
Beauty.
Just a couple
a few threats. We got a few threats over Christmas.
We got investigated by a member of the public, who obviously won't be named, but he's got a background in law and did criminal background checks on us because he was disgruntled that public leaned up on his fence whilst watching our event and unfortunately displaced.
Damaged a couple of palings or something.
Filled out proper suing forms to the council. He lodged court stuff, everything for us. But not for us, against us.
Just a prick that's got nothing better to do.
And then we ended up...
So
we made all these pretty much threats and demands. We're like, hey, chill out. Let's catch up. Let's catch up for a coffee.
Let's mediate this thing.
So we went around his place and we had a coffee, had a chat, and we're like, look, there was $2,000 damage to his fence or something. So we just sorted it because, what else are you going to do? So we're $2,000 out of pocket still from last year, but you can't risk anything else.
Oh, man. Especially the history he's had with the local council. He actually used to work for the Southern Shire Council, and then he's got those, kind of...
I get it.
Yeah, he's got his tentacles in, so to speak.
Get it.
Yeah.
But it was a bit lucky we did go and see him because he goes, you guys do this all the time. I'm sick of this, blah, blah. I told you last year, I told you year before.
Yeah, because he didn't realise we were new.
Yeah, so we literally had to show him all forms and everything. We said, literally, this is the first year we've done it. We've never met you before. We apologise. And we went and saw him last week.
Yeah, and he was sweet.
We went round his house last week, said, what do you want? He goes, I want all fencing up, this, that, the other. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Now we know, now we've met each other, we can...
He's going to get a lot of bollards.
Yeah, or a lot of able high fencing.
We're going to full 2 metre fencing. Let's just not go near his house.
Yeah, and we can double the signage too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it's good to... Yeah, because we didn't know. If you don't know, and then he thinks, you do this every year, we're fully offended. We haven't. It wasn't us.
And it's funny, for you guys, it's hard not to take personally. It hurts to get that stuff. You're like, everything we're doing is with great intention.
Yeah. And we're sacrificing our time, effort, and money to come do this, and then we're getting criminal background checks placed on us because someone lent on your fence.
Yeah, it was literally over Christmas, pages and pages of
But you know where we blew it?
Court.
We blew it though. On the commencement of the comp. We ran our day, we got a complaint maybe an hour before we finished up, and then we got another one come in as we finished up saying you need to come see this person X, Y, and Z. We didn't end up being able to go.
Didn't have the time.
Yeah. We had to go run a after party, a celebration announcing the winner. We had to go out to Kurnell. We had to pack down the whole site.
We had to do rubbish removal before the presentation, we were out there with Crispy, legend, Cronulla guy, Brad Whittaker. We're out there with plastic bags picking up everyone's rubbish for hours. And everyone's like, why is the president so late? I'm like, because I was fucking picking up his rubbish.
Yeah, exactly. And,
and the next day as well. So we're hungover after the after party, down the next day picking up rubbish again. Yeah. So at least now we know, we're paying the council. Oh, sweet, we're getting 10 bins. We're getting 2 rubbish workers during the day, all day, 8 hours.
And I know we keep harping on about this, Benny, but those were the real big feedback things. And if you don't play ball with the council, it's just, as you know, you ran comps for so long, man. Hey, but actually, a question for you. How was it, running the ABA, and when it got to dealing with councils or governing bodies, did you ever get any major kickback?
Myself personally, living on the Gold Coast at the time, I had a really strong relationship with Tweed Council.
Yep.
So that was kind of just about expanding basically the blueprint that we had for our state events and club events. Like we were running 10 club rounds a year. Yeah. So we were constant.
That's a lot.
Yeah. But we needed it to be on the Goldie. Like we had 120 competitors a year.
That's epic.
South Oz, Dylan Beach was basically doing work for council at the time.
Yeah.
And they really wanted to have that event.
Of course.
Down there. So they were super supportive. Justin Magix from Surfing West Oz was super helpful and took care of everything over there. Northern Beaches was probably the most time consuming.
Yeah.
Because everything in Sydney's by the book. But again, nothing was really bad. I remember one year, and very similar to what you guys said, one year, there was just not enough bins. In saying that was kind of partial fault on the, whatever their council's called, probably Northern Beaches Council.
Yeah.
They said they were going to drop off more bins. It didn't happen. We did exactly what you guys did. We took as much of the rubbish as we could. We didn't have, most of our presos were at the beach, but most of us all had to catch flights home that night. So we took as much as we could, but just the bins that were left on the beach were full. So they were kind of like, well, you've left no space for the general public. It's like, well, it's the whole purpose of a bin though, right? To put everything in. But again, we were lucky. However, times change, and Australia is well known as the biggest nanny country in the world.
Isn't it?
The amount of red tape you have to go through for everything. And I understand why we have these systems in place. But I'm also a big believer in common sense, and, in politics and in council, common sense doesn't exist.
God.
So everyone that works for a council or works in politics have to prove themselves. So they prove themselves by creating these processes and systems to justify what they do.
I no longer work for council.
The when council were having a go at me about intoxication, I said, how do I stop that? And they go, you need to you need to inform police. I said, police were informed of the event. It wasn't a council large event. Yes, police were informed, but you need to let them mitigate it. It doesn't make any. What do you fucking send them down? What, you can't tell that there's 4,000 people on Cronulla Point.
They should just come down regular walk-bys anyway.
Exactly.
Isn't that their job?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like New Year's Eve. It's like Australia Day. Any different?
I know. But as you were saying, Benny, it's ridiculous how backwards those organisations can be, and the hoops you have to jump through just seems so relentless. But
look at the public liability process. Bananas.
Yeah.
Like the expectation to have something like $20 million.
Yeah, that's what we need to have.
Yeah.
20 million.
Try I can't break down 20 million.
Yeah.
Like for what?
Yeah, I know. I know.
Yeah.
What's going to happen there? Like, is a whole part of the comp site going to fall away into the ocean?
Yeah. There's a underground gas leak and the cliff explodes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 20 million.
Well, you'd think it would purely be based around someone dying and being sued, court fees.
Yeah,
that would be
but even 20 million, that's a lot.
20 million.
Yeah.
It's crazy. They're always covering their asses.
Yeah, I get it. Right, boys. Well, I reckon we've almost covered all bases here. I want to give you both one last opportunity to basically shameless promote everything you're doing. So let's just quickly recap when it's all kicking off, where everyone can tune in to keep updated. Give them a friendly reminder about all the great kind of inclusions that this event has as well in terms of the pre-party, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
Far away.
Say, registrations will be open very soon via Surfing New South Wales for the trials.
Yep, definitely.
Nice.
We'll just say it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it should have
And
been
then we'll
open.
send it to them and be like, you got to do it now.
So it actually should have already been probably open already. They're going through a small staffing
Changing of the
restructure.
guard, yeah.
Unfortunately. So
Every 2 months.
yeah, a little bit later, but they will definitely be on those dates. Like the state trials will be on the 27th, the trials will be on the 28th. 27th, 28th. I'm even doing my head now. And they can
The
pretty
Matrix.
The Matrix, exactly. Crunching the numbers. They can watch everything via a live feed through Sporting News, through their YouTube again.
There'll be links everywhere.
Links,
Yeah.
but really the best place to go for centralized information is sharkislandchallenge.com.
Nice.
That is the place everyone must go, and that's where all our information will be updated. I've been trying to send that link out a lot. Sads has been just berating people with it, so they go to as a central hub, but that'll have all the updated stuff, all our sponsors, all the times and dates, and it'll have a list of the events that we're looking to run throughout the whole period, and especially the wave pool ones. So, anyone out there is wanting to come down to sunny Cronulla on the challenge day, the
That
information
Shark
is
Island
there.
Challenge made a comeback photo of me. Beautiful.
Oh, mate. Selfless promotion.
Shameless.
Yeah.
Shameless.
I love it.
The missus goes, I got my 40th in a couple of weeks, and she wants that photo on the cake, and I don't have it. I was like, I don't want a photo. Just do a normal cake. She said, no, I want a photo of you bodyboarding on a cake.
So,
That's
yeah.
cute.
I'm like, I can't find a high res one, hey.
I don't think it's going to matter too much with the baker.
Yeah, I know. Well, otherwise, I'll just fucking make up a wave. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
You know when you walk away, you're like, fuck it. Bitch,
Oh, yeah. Do it all the time.
but no,
While you're picking your brain, I'm going to say what many people probably want to say. And once again, it's a big shout out to you guys and the rest of your team for everything you've done leading up to just getting it back on the event calendar in 2024, and then being able to be so professional in the way that you've taken on the feedback and had that vision to keep it going and build and make it better, because sometimes that just doesn't happen.
Thanks, Benny.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I
cheers.
cannot wait. Like, there's already a crew in Vico that are pretty committed to doing a bit of a strike mission to come
Sick.
up to make this happen.
Yeah.
So
We're flicking you a text straight away.
beauty.
Yeah, good you up.
Awesome. All right, lads.
Anything, Satsy? It's a great platform, the Closeout podcast.
Thanks, mate. Learn from the best.
I think we're all good.
You guys going to sell some merch?
Yeah, Toby will be doing. He's making them up now, sending us the draft logos this week, I think.
Yeah, any of that stuff going to be pre-sale for the event or just available
Yeah.
at the event?
Yeah, no. Toby will have links to it very soon.
Nice.
I think
Good body
he gets it made up pretty quick, hey, in like
he does.
2 weeks or something.
AS Colour, lovely shirts, quality
They are good,
dye. Yeah, I'm into it. Mine's actually lasted a year, which usually a white shirt for me gets an absolute flogging.
Yeah, this is pretty much my black one's like my good one. My white one's a bit stained and a bit.
But
Iffy.
I wanted to just say on behalf of us, man, the committee, thank you for having us on, Benny. You're an absolute legend. You're a good bloke, and you've always been one of the nicest cunts I've ever dealt with.
Cheers,
So it is, just really good to speak to you, especially in person, and so good how much froth that you.
It's taken 3 times, I think.
Yeah, it has. I know. But you've got so much energy and so much good energy around the sport that it's infectious, man. So it's really cool, and stoked to be on the potty.
I think we all just share the same vision. What we if we put it on a big red hat that someone like Trump would wear, I just got to say, make bodyboarding great again, right?
I'd love that, eh? Fuck,
definitely.
you would piss some people off. It'd be
Wouldn't
so
it?
good.
All right, lads. So once again, on behalf of myself and the rest of the team who are MIA, cheers. And can't wait to see this thing go bang in 2025. As always, big shout out to everyone at the back end of the potty. Obviously my normal co-hosts in Watto and Shane. Big shout out to MJ for all his work in production. Mika, Sammy Watson, Mark Britton, and Rob Porteous. Cheers, guys.
Thanks,
Benny.
mate.